What music they make.
Metal. Sejam bem-vindos a mais um podcast de Metal Global. Hoje vamos mergulhar no universo de um super quarteto que traz o peso e a melodia no ADN. Estou a falar dos Elegant Weapons, eles que têm novo álbum Evolution, que é editado esta sexta-feira, dia 24 de Abril. Antes de irmos à entrevista exclusiva com Richie Faulkner, não quero mais lembrar que tem a versão rádio exclusivo na RTP Play, é passar por lá e procurar por Metal Global. Agora vamos então falar de Elegant Weapons. Evolution é o segundo álbum para este quarteto que conta com músicos com um grande currículo. Estou a falar de Richie Faulkner, guitarrista dos Judas Priest, o vocalista Ronnie Romero, que já tocou com Rainbow e Michael Schenker Group, entre muitos outros, o baixista Dave Wimmer, dos Uriah Heep, e ainda o baterista Christopher Williams, dos Accept. Juntos, criaram um estilo marcado por riffs inesquecíveis e refrães vertiginosos. Venha então saber mais sobre este projeto e sobre este álbum Evolution numa conversa exclusiva com Richie Faulkner.
Good morning, good afternoon.
Good morning, Richie. How are you?
I'm very well, how are you?
Everything is good.
Good, man.
I need my tea, not coffee. I need my tea.
Yeah, man, it's 10 o'clock in the morning here. You're in Portugal, right?
Yes, it's 4 p.m., same time as UK. So
Gotcha, okay, fantastic.
Yeah. Very good. And, let's talk about the new record, Evolution. And last time we spoke, you already had said that the drums were recorded for the album number 2. So when did you guys start actually working on the full songs for Evolution?
Well, when did I tell you that? I mean,
a couple of years ago, probably.
Yeah. The drums were recorded before Horns for a Halo came out, you know. Because when you're in a band like this, we've all got other bands. So when you're all together, you need to take the opportunity to get as much as you can done, you know. So that was 2023. The rest of it has been recorded throughout 24 and 25. So I think the guitars were recorded in 24, because obviously we were out with Priest on the Invincible Shield tour. I think the bass was recorded in 25 and vocals were recorded in 25 as well. And then when we got back from tour last year with Priest, that was around October. And me and Andy Sneap have been kind of mixing a little bit on the road, because obviously we've been together on the road. So we mixed it a little bit on the road, a little bit at home, and then finalized it and sent it to the record label. So it's been, you know, it was kind of started recording 3 years ago, but because of the schedules that we're all on, we have to kind of fit it around in between. So that's why it's taken so long to get recorded, really. But we got there in the end, you know.
But it's kind of is it a weird way of doing things? Or, I mean, obviously it's practical considering that everybody is busy with their own things. But for you, as a songwriter, was it okay to just, have the drums and then, I'll put my guitar parts and let's wait for the rest?
Yeah, because when we recorded the drums, because we were together, I think it's important when you record the drums to record it together, and you can you get that synergy, you get that cohesiveness when you play together. So me, Davey and Christopher were in the studio playing together to record those drum parts. So that if I did something on the guitar or Davey did something, and Christopher can feed off of that energy, and you can capture that spontaneity, Once you've got that kind of core recording, I think then you can go away and build the guitars, build the bass. The vocals we did do separately, but me, Andy Sneap and Ronnie were each in our own studios around the world, but we did the session together like we're doing now on Zoom, so we didn't have to fly anyone anywhere or any hotels or anything. And we did all the vocals together like me and you are doing now. So if we needed to do like a different vocal take or a different vocal technique or a different microphone, different phrase or a different melody, different harmony, we could do it, and we built the vocals up that way. And I think for that reason, especially on the drums and the vocals, the guitars and bass are fine, but I think drums and vocal, you've really got to get them, they've really got to be nailed. because that kind of makes or breaks the songs, I think. You know, if the drums are off or the vocals aren't very good, you've got a problem. But I think doing it this way, we've really kind of produced Ronnie in the best way we could and got the best performance out of him. So I think it was a really good way to do it without flying everyone around the world all the time. You know what I mean? It was a bit cheaper as well.
And, you know, this record, again, just like the first one, there's diversity in it. You know, Bridges Burn is the first single coming out of this record. Do you think that song encapsulates what Elegant Weapons are in 2026?
I think so, yeah. I think it's one of the reasons why we wanted to drop that single first. You know, we wanted to any new fans out there that haven't heard the band before, we thought that was a good introduction to the new album. The guys in the band have been here since 2023, but it's the first time people might have heard them, you know, in Elegant Weapons on record. So that was important. We thought the song was a good introduction to what the album's going to be, and we thought it was a good song. We thought that it was a catchy song. It was a strong song. And also people that know the band, you know, people that know the band from the first album. Hopefully it was something familiar with them, something that they could relate to from the first album. We thought it was a perfect choice, really. Yeah.
You know, and listening to the record, there is not a dull moment on it. You know, it's really, I listened to it like a couple of times in a row, and I didn't get tired, didn't bother. There were actually some great songs. And for me, Come Back to Me, it's a highlight of the song. I'm a sucker for ballads, and that one is really good.
Oh, thank you very much. It's as I said before, there's a couple of things on this record which we didn't have on the first one. So as far as evolution goes, the name of the album, some of the songs, the character of the band is an evolution as well. We're doing things on this record that we didn't do on the first one, and Come Back to Me is one of those. I don't write many ballads. There wasn't really a ballad like that on Halo and on Invincible Shield either. Yeah. There wasn't really a proper ballad like that. So, but sometimes they're hard to get together, you know, ballads. It's hard to find the right combination of elements to put into a song. And it's quite a sensitive song, you know. Ballads are quite sensitive, and you've got to find the right bits to make the song complete. But I found the bits, and we put it on the album, and it shows another side to the band, I think. And I'm glad you like it, because as I said, I don't write many ballads, so it will be interesting to see what people think of this one, you know.
I think they're going to enjoy it. And you also have some guests on this record. On Keeper of the Keys, you got Adam Wakeman. This is nothing to do with Halloween, does it?
No. I've had that. Someone asked me that before with the Halloween's Keeper of the Seven Keys. Of course, you know, bands have the same titles. It's almost the same title, but it's obviously a totally different track. But as you said, Adam Wakeman plays keyboards on this one and the ballad as well. Fantastic work on the keyboards. You know, he has that beautiful Hammond with the rotating speaker, you know, the Leslie speaker, and it really brings the track alive and really gives another dynamic to the band and the sound. And I can do a few little keyboard things. I did on the first record and some on this one, but like underlying kind of, you know, not complicated stuff at all. But these two tracks needed someone that could really play. Yeah. So Davey actually suggested getting Adam Wakeman to do some keyboards on these tracks, and it really, I think, brings the songs alive. So yeah, we're really grateful to him. And also Jared James Nichols plays guitar on Thrown to the Wolves. Same thing, brought a different dynamic to the sound and the band, really brought a different dimension, and fire-breathing guitar, you know, just great guitar player, bluesy guitar player. The track was a little bit more bluesy anyway, so I thought it would be perfect for him to solo over, and he did a fantastic job, both of them, on those three tracks.
Yeah, Jared is a beast as a guitar player. I mean, the guy, like, even live, like, is really an animal playing. It's like, it's very difficult not to be drawn into him as a guitar player, and, you know, his presence, everything. He got everything going for him. He's amazing. He's a great guy.
I was going to say that he's very much that's what he's like as a person. You know what I mean? He's the same. He plays the guitar like he is as a person. He's larger than life. He's full of feel and heart and nuance and fire. And that's what he brought. Really, he came over to the studio. He put down some solos and really nailed it. And that's who he is. When you hear a guitar solo by Jared, that's who he is as a person. And that's what we wanted to capture on this record. And that's what he brings. And he did a fantastic job. He's a lovely guy. I love him. And grateful that he could put down what he does and it fits so well on the track.
Yeah, and going back to the Keys song, you play a Strat on this one. I was reading. Why did you change normally you play with the Gibson Flying V. Why did you change for that song specifically?
Well, it's interesting that, you listen to what the song is telling you. You know what I mean? When you write a song like that, you listen to the song and you try and, it was kind of like a Deep Purple Rainbow type song. For example, the start of the song, I wanted it very bare bones. I wanted the keys, the guitar, and the vocals only, just to have that kind of experience at the beginning. And it was like a Blackmore, like the solo as well was like a Blackmore type. The song was telling me that's what it needed, and the song was telling me the same thing with the Strat as well. I thought it was that kind of song. It needed that kind of tone, and I've got there's other songs on the record which have that kind of tone, but I could do it with the V on the neck pickup, and it sounds kind of Stratty. But on that one, I've got an old '58. Strat that was owned by Marcus King. Actually, it's a beautiful. It's actually painted black. It's a reef in black, '58 Strat, and it's just a beast of a Strat, full of character. And I thought that's what the song needed. That's what the song was telling me. So you listen to what the song's telling you, and record it according to what the song's telling you, the way the song is, what guitars you use, what amps you use, what the solo is, and you try and stay faithful to that, Yeah.
What is your to-go gear normally when you're in the studio playing? What do you trust the most when you're playing it?
It's usually the same kind of stuff as I have live, I've usually got a Les Paul, a V, and an Explorer. They're the three standard guitars really that I use, and it goes through either I usually DI and go through some sort of processor, some sort of either a Kemper or a Quad Cortex. We captured some sounds from the live rig, the Wizard, the Marshall. What else is there on there? There's something else on there. There's a Wizard and a Marshall and something else. So it sounds good in the room. I don't mic stuff up. I haven't got the knowledge or the know-how to do that. So I DI the signal as well, send it all to Andy Sneap, and then he reamps the DI at the other end through a real amplifier, and does it there. But just so it sounds good for me at this end, it sounds good through the Cortex or whatever. But it's usually the same guitar, same kind of the preset is either a Marshall or a Wizard or something like that. It's kind of what I use live, Yeah. And then obviously in the studio you have other things that you can add. There's an acoustic on Come Back to Me as well, which I didn't use on the first record. Very rarely use an acoustic these days, but maybe I'm getting soft, I'll use an acoustic on this one. The Strat I used. In the studio, you've got like more brushes to choose from, On a live scenario, you've got your guitars, you've got your touring guitars and amps, and that's what you use. But in the Strat, in the studio, you've got a chance to use a few more brushes. So, but at the core, it's usually the same stuff.
Yeah, and there's also an instrumental song on this album, Rupture, which is a bit personal for you. What was the idea behind it for those who haven't, read or even listened to the song yet? What was the idea behind it?
Well, I had the guitar part, and I could hear a heartbeat. I could hear like a pulse through the music. And so I kind of drew inspiration from my own experience, although I was unconscious through the whole thing, but I could kind of draw experience from it. So I could imagine someone on a hospital bed with lots of tubes and cables coming out of them into machines and monitors, and they were fighting for their life. I could hear them fighting. I could hear turmoil in the music, but I could hear hope as well, strength. And at the end of the song, it flatlines. The heartbeat stops and it flatlines, which obviously I didn't do because we're talking today, but which is a good thing. But obviously on the record, it's more dramatic. It flatlines, the heartbeat stops, and then it crashes in with the next song, which is Mercy of the Fallen. And I just thought it would be a cool dynamic to have on a record. I haven't done an instrumental on a record before. Some people would ask why I'd have an instrumental on a record with Ronnie Romero singing. It doesn't really make much sense, but I thought it was just a cool dynamic to have on a record. And also it reprises on Mercy of the Fallen. It revisits that as well. So they're kind of connected, those two songs. So yeah, I just thought it was a cool thing to try on a record. That's all really.
And have you ever thought, obviously I've got Ronnie Romero singing, why have instrumental? But as an amazing guitar player as you are, have you ever thought of a full instrumental record?
Not really, no. I'm more into the live, the band dynamic, singer like Ozzy or Metallica or, like Priest, like a singer, guitar players, bass player. I think it's, there's more personality in a band when you've got multiple personalities in it, It creates like a bigger thing. I've always been a fan of that. And it's more interesting when there's a singer and words and stuff like that, more than just guitar lines. I do like some of it, listening to other people. Other people obviously do it better than me, Satriani, Vai. There's a lot of people that do instrumental guitar music, but I'm just not that interested enough to do guitar music by myself. But I prefer the band dynamic.
Yeah, just like Michael Schenker. It's
yes, exactly,
he's an amazing guitar player, but when he has a band playing with him, it just sounds so much better. Anyway,
I agree with that. Yeah, I'm more of a fan of that dynamic. Yeah.
And with the album coming out at the end of this month, April, touring plans, live shows. You already played, obviously, for the previous record. You did some concerts. You played in Portugal as well. What are the plans for a tour or something? Because, everyone in that band is busy.
That's the biggest challenge we face, which is, it's obvious, really. That's going to be the biggest challenge. So we're looking, Priest are out, we go out in July, end of July till late September. So Weapons are looking at dates after that, so when we come back from the road with Priest, we're looking at dates towards the end of the year, either Europe or the US, anywhere that can have us, we're looking at dates. So when we get some finalized dates, we'll definitely let everybody know when those dates are going to be on our socials and website and stuff like that.
Cool. And with Priest, I think I already mentioned in the previous interview that you guys were in the studio. How's that looking at the moment? Timeline-wise, it's very early stages or you already advanced a bit?
Well, it's hard to say, really, because you never know how long these things are going to take. But we've got quite a bit done in February. So we've started on it and we're making progress. But it's always hard when to say these things are going to come out. There's like unforeseen things, and then we've got a tour coming up in the summer. But we've started, and it's sounding very classic, like classic Priest, So as that kind of progresses, we'll let you know about that as well, So it's going to be exciting. 20th record with Priest it's amazing. More than 50 years later that those guys have been doing it. So it's sounding good. Sounding classic Priest.
Cool. And live, you guys are still, I remember when you played in a festival last year. I mean, you guys are on fucking fire.
Well, we love it, Everyone's still healthy, and we love to do it. We love to play. And Rob's singing great, and Ian's up there, rocking out. And as I said, more than 50 years after they started the band, it's a phenomenal thing, really. We'll be out there again this summer in the heat, doing it again. We can't wait.
Cool. And when it comes to Elegant Weapons, we started by saying that the drums were recorded prior to the first record being out. any more drums recorded for album number 3.
No, but I'll tell you what, I have to kind of think about, you have to think that far in advance, you know. I'm going to have to start thinking, obviously we're doing the Priest record now for the next go-round, and then I'm going to have to start writing stuff now, because the next Weapons record, if we do a touring cycle with Priest for the next record, that's going to be 2 years maybe. And then, you know what I mean? So you have to start thinking about that stuff way in advance. So I haven't got any riffs left at the moment. So I need to start going through the riff files and seeing what I've got. But that's the way I have to think these days, you know?
How many gigabytes you have of riff files?
No, well, yeah, I've got quite a few. And the good thing is you never know when where the riffs are going to come from. So some of the riffs on the Elegant Weapons record have been around for a long time. And you never know when they're going to pop up again, or you're writing something and you think, oh, hold on, I had a riff before that I haven't used. You never know where they're going to come from. So we'll see. But there's always stuff floating around. You just got to kind of focus and start pulling those riffs in. And somehow, at the moment, as I said, I don't have much stuff at the moment, but somehow it comes from somewhere. And there's always, well, hopefully, I'm saying that, I don't know, but hopefully there'll be another record in a couple of years' time.
Cool. All right. Richie, thank you very much for your time. All the best for Elegant Weapons and Priest. Hope to see you guys soon again. And, I might just try to go to London for that last Priest show, especially now that you guys confirmed Nevermore as guests.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I want to see that.
Yeah, it should be a great show. And Hammersmith as well. Hammersmith, we've done, I think we did Hammersmith at the end of the Epitaph tour. And it's a legendary venue, and it'll be a great show with Nevermore. So, yeah, if you can, come over and check it out. It'll be a great end to the tour.
All right. Richie, thank you very much. Have a great day, and hope to see you soon, all right? Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
Take
you.
care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Bye.
Metal Global foi a conversa exclusiva com Richie Faulkner dos Elegant Weapons para falar sobre a novidade Evolution, o novo álbum dos Elegant Weapons e segundo álbum de estúdio. Como eu disse a abrir este programa, tem a versão rádio exclusivo na RTP Play, para além das músicas de Elegant Weapons. Temos também temas de Evergrey, Armored Saint, Chemis e também de Corrosion of Conformity. E assim chega ao final deste podcast. Dúvidas ou sugestões? É enviar e-mail para jorge.botas@rtp.pt. Visite o site metalglobal.pt e siga-me no Twitter e Instagram em @mountainking. Façam like na página de Facebook do Metal Global e se estão a ouvir esta versão em Apple Podcasts, Spotify ou no YouTube Music, subscrevam para não perder nenhum episódio. Eu volto no próximo programa. Um forte abraço.
Children of the night, you will live through the centuries to come, as I have lived. Good night.